What's going on YouTube? This is Daniel Kurtz Fishing. Today we're going to be talking about the Blackmax3. That's this one right here. It's, we're kind of going to do a little bit of comparison between the Blackmax3 and the old Blackmax2, which I have right here. So stay tuned, it's going to be some helpful info. Let's roll that intro. Let's start out with the Blackmax3. So right here I've got it rigged on a 6'10" medium action rod. Of course, the Blackmax3, it's a 5-bearing 6'4" to 1 ratio reel. These are really nice reels for the money. They're really hard to beat for the money. I've got some really expensive reels in here, some Akumas, Helios, and stuff like that. That price to performance value is just, at least for me, is not the same there. So these reels are really smooth. You can put a lot of line on there. I've heard before people say stuff like, if you're gonna buy a cheap reel, you're gonna lose bigger fish on there. I don't think that's the case. I've caught fish all the way up to 9 pounds on this reel. Alright, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit and talk about the old Blackmax. This is the Blackmax2 here. This particular one is actually the first bait casting reel that I ever purchased myself. When I moved back to Texas from the Navy, I had a really bad experience with bait cast reels in the past, mostly because I've only ever used really cheap ones like Academy brand. I'm not knocking Academy brand, but just if you don't know what you're doing, an extra cheap bait cast reel is really hard to use. And then stuff like, my dad's has a couple old Shimano Corrado reels, and if you've ever used an older Shimano Corrado, it is a piece of junk. It is the biggest pain in the butt to get set correctly. I mean, even now I hate using it, and I've got maybe 1-2 spinning rods in the boat, and I only use those for very specific things. I pretty much throw free spool at this point, so long story short, this is the first reel I ever bought, and I fell in love with it. It was super easy to set up, super easy to use, but it did have some drawbacks. So some issues I've had with this reel are the drag wheel here. The pressure plates in there kind of start to wear out over time, more so than other reels that I've had. I've had issues with the button not going all the way down and not engaging, like right now. I mean, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I've got the button halfway pushed down. It's not engaging. Spool free spools, so you gotta kind of mess with it a little bit. I haven't had that issue with the new ones, so we're gonna change back over to the new ones, the Blackmax3. So they did a new design. It's completely new. The way you take it apart is a little different. They got rid of the screw, so it's just a slide lever now, and you can take that off, no big deal. But there's no more half button issues, so you can't even push it halfway down. The spool peels out a whole lot easier. The bearings are a lot nicer. These things, you can get them on sale at Walmart for $35. You're usually $45–50 at the most. One thing I have noticed though, and I actually had to email Abu themselves to figure it out, was if you go on like Amazon or like Walmart.com, you'll notice that there's a Bmax3 and a Bmax3C, with the L annotation and or not. The L means left-handed, obviously, but the C and without the C is just different packaging, and I don't know why they have that. And it's actually kind of funny because like on Walmart, it's actually costs more if you get the C version, which is the clam case. So just keep that in mind. But for a beginner reel, and even for people who have lots of rods, who fish all the time, it's really hard to beat this reel for the money. For a long time I was buying Quantums. I was done buying Blackmaxes because they're cheap. They're on the cheap side stuff, and I wanted to get nicer reels. Well, after fishing $200 reels, $150 reels, here I am back buying Blackmaxes again because just price performance is really hard to beat. Here we have another setup where I have it set on another medium action rod. This is a 6 foot, also 6'10" medium action rod. This one here I'm throwing spinnerbait with, so 6:4 to 1 is a good ratio for stuff like spinnerbait, shallow cranking, square bills, stuff like that. You know, something you want a good middle of the road retrieve speed, something you can slow down a little bit if you need to, or speed up a little bit. It's not a real fast retrieve, it's not slow, but it's a good reel. Like I said, price performance for this thing is probably the best you can get. If you're starting out fishing, you want a good middle of the road reel. It's going to have good casting, good dependability. You're not going to have a whole bunch of issues with. This is the way to go. I will say that the grips here are a little bit slick, so if you want to get you some aftermarket grips, that would be probably the only thing I would go with off the bat. If you want to make it a heck of a lot nicer reel, you can replace the bearings. That's a little bit of work though, so do what you got to do. This is my first video review, so like, comment, share, subscribe. There'll be more reviews. I'll get a little bit better on. There's a lot more stuff I want to do that I can't do right now. I'm getting a better microphone here in the real near future, so stick with me and we'll get better at this.